Welcome to another episode of Patently Clear with Graham Archer. So we've talked in other episodes about how a patent application is really just telling a story, but not just any story. I mean, you're really trying to convince a patent office examiner that your invention deserves protection. So where does that story actually begin?
So it starts by setting the scene, explaining the problems that exist in a particular technical field. Once we've laid out those problems, we explain how the invention solves them and why the solutions are so good. And then finally, we walk through exactly how the invention works. If we can tell a compelling story that shows how the invention clearly adds to the accumulated knowledge in that field, we're already a long way towards getting a patent granted.
So for you to write this story, the patent application, what do you need from the inventor?
Almost always we start with a written description from the inventor. And the first thing we want is information about the prior art. That's anything that's already in the public domain before the application is filed.
Okay, and when you say prior art, what do you mean by that?
Basically, it's anything similar to your invention that's already out there. So, start by giving me an outline of that, especially the things that are most similar to your idea. Then, I want to look at how your invention is different from that prior art and what advantages those differences bring. If it's a product, tell me about the features or parts that don't exist in the prior art. If it's a method or process, what steps are you doing differently?
And what if those features are scattered across different bits of prior art?
Well, it might well not be a problem. It happens a lot. Some features might show up in an earlier product, others in another. What's important is looking at the prior art piece by piece. Short descriptions and bullet points work brilliantly for this. They make it easier to communicate the differences and advantages clearly.
Okay, so that's the before and after picture. What happens next?
The final piece is the how it works section. We have to give enough detail so that someone who's skilled in this field could make the invention and get it working. Most of the time, that means including drawings. For products, you want illustrations of the product itself and sometimes how it's used. CAD and engineering drawings are great, but we can work with sketches early on. For processes and method patterns, including software, the best format is a flowchart. If it's software, imagine the kind of flowchart you would hand to a programmer so they could code it.
Okay, and I'm guessing we don't just stick to one version of the invention.
Exactly. It's always good to include any variations you can think of, as long as we can support them. That way, we're covering as much ground as possible in the application.
Okay, that's really helpful. Thanks, Graham.